as an exciting undercard co-main event feature. Jose Valenzuela will be taking on Gary Antoine Russell in a super lightweight bout for the WBA title. This is going to be probably the fight of the night. Let's talk about Valenzuela and Russell. On the undercard of Davis versus Roach, we're going to see an outstanding fight between WBA super lightweight title holder Jose Valenzuela and Gary Antoine Russell. These two will participate in this event that's coming up Saturday, March 1st, Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view. These two men are slated to battle for 12 rounds at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And the two of them are coming off of wins and losses that are defining who they are. And in the case of the title holder, Rayo Valenzuela, he's coming off of a victory August of 2024 where he had a split decision win over, at that time, title holder Isaac Cruz. That was a hard-fought battle between he and Cruz, but he seemed extremely prepared for Cruz as he boxed his way, kept Cruz on the end of his punches, running him into shots, giving just enough lateral movement that Cruz couldn't set down on the powered punches as he wanted to. So he's coming into this as the champion. Now, Russell is coming off of a June 2024 loss to Alberto Puello, a fight that saw him not look his best. It was a split decision loss for Gary Antoine. And the fact that he hadn't fought again, hadn't done much of anything since then, people were really wondering what's going on with the Russell camp. So the two of them now are slated to face one another. And there's an advantage that Rayo has in having defeated Cruz, who was a hot in pursuit type fighter. Though the dimensions that he had over Cruz were significant, being a southpaw and 5'10" with a 70-inch reach, he was able to use that to his advantage, primarily the training and coaching of the Garcia Boxing Academy. That's right, Roberto Garcia. Now, Gary Antoine is trained by his brother, Mr. Gary Russell, and he really needs to come back from that loss that he had against Puello. But Puello boxed him perfectly. Now he's 5'10" with a 69-inch reach and is also a southpaw. So the fact that these two men are warring up against one another from the southpaw position, it's going to be an awkward fight within itself. But he who is able to dictate foot placement in this fight is going to have the advantage. He is able to box out of his southpaw position, maintaining the foot advantage of keeping that lead foot on the outside of the opponent, is going to have the advantage. Now, one thing I noticed about Gary Antoine against Puello, he wasn't able to make the adjustments when things were not necessarily looking good for him. You know, his brother was telling him proper instructions during the rounds. In between, he wasn't able to execute. The fight was close, but then again it wasn't. Simply from the standpoint that when the decision was announced, many people thought that he might get the nod as a favorite, but were very surprised to see Puello gain that advantage. Rayo has defeated other fighters that really define where he is presently as well. Chris Colbert in back-to-back fights where he KO'd Colbert in December of 2023, but in March of 2023 he lost a decision, which many people thought he won that fight as well. So he's on a great streak. But when you look at Russell, his last really good fight was a victory over Victor Postal, followed up by a victory over Rances Bartholomew. Both of those fights were in 2022. So as you can look and see that he hasn't been as active as he might need and want to be, and being 28 to Rayo's 25, that's going to be a factor as well. All in all, I'm expecting Rayo to pull this victory out. The coach and trainer of the year, Robert Garcia, is going to have him ready for this. And I do believe that it's going to come down to some moments where someone is going to have to sit down and kind of show their wares and influence. And being a champion usually makes a fighter 10% better. Coming off of that loss against Puello, Russell didn't look the happiest camper in the world. And since he didn't get a victory before going into this, and now going into another title-holding fight, he may feel pressure that he shouldn't have to go through after experiencing that first loss. So I'm going with Rayo in this fight, but Russell is a talent enough to pull it out. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave comments and let me know what you think. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.